These are the Dark Age boundaries north of the River Wylye. Arrest up of Wylye over Bitchanduna, on Thonna mid a Mesten Berg, on long das weed and Cumes, on Thonna Chridgeway, on long das Chridgewayes, on north the weirder Yaonan Berg, Thonna out on Horrors Gate, to air on Theaverford, east the Weirna on Erna Crundell, Thonna and long air eft on Wyllyford.
I've made a discovery. No, it's not an earth-shattering discovery. Those are few and far between. It was certainly something I was very pleased with myself. I was flicking through 1,100-year-old documents, as you do, of a Friday evening. And I noticed, as you do, an ancient landmark described in the charter. And I wonder if anybody's noticed that, I said to myself. Grundy hadn't, the English Place Name Society hadn't, the Heritage Record hadn't. I might be the first. The animals that I show are, none of those are set up. That is, the English countryside is not an amusement park. These deer and these hares and so on aren't. They're not in enclosures. They're wild animals, and this is where they live in the landscape. They are exploited. Always have been. There is a difference between sporting gentlemen popping out together with a rifle to bring home something for the pot. There is a difference between that and organised entertainments for gentlemen with their toys, be it Land Rover or shotgun. And I guess if I had a shotgun, I would probably exercise it, though I like to think I would go for target practice, clay pigeon shooting rather. But there isn't anything wrong with hunting. There's just something wrong with, I find it hard to put into words. It's sort of the consumerisation of the countryside. Now there are farmers, landowners, big landowners who want to make money from hunting, and I do sympathise with that idea. The beaters, people in the villages, make a few quid on the side, wander around waving a stick in the air, get paid for it. But it's, I wish it wasn't that way. But what to do? But I've got a copy of, I wish I could remember the name of it. It's a fishing book, a really famous fishing book from the 1600s. It will come to me while I'm talking, I expect. And there, basically, these men are wandering around the countryside, destroying every animal they come across. Not just fishing, otters, you know, birds, whatever it is, they'll kill it. And I'm not too fond of that idea either. Oh, what to do? I don't know. It's a moral question. Do I have the right? Oh, So anyway, I'm rambling. My little discovery is I have the 1100-year-old name of an Iron Age hill fort, a Saxon name. It's not the same people that built the hill fort, but it's certainly they built the hill fort, but certainly it's and are people much closer to that time than we are, and nobody's noticed it before. The oldest version they had on record was Yarnbury from 1530 something or other, and that's I'm on a byway, by the way. These people are entitled to come down here, and it looks like carriages have been coming down here for a couple hundred years. I think it's a turnpike myself. Over there is Deptford Down Barn, and the Saxon charter of at Wylye comes up here, up to the Hairparther, which is what we're on now, which is interesting because I think it's a turnpike. So we normally think of turnpikes as being new roads and not remanufactured old ones. It actually says Ridgeway rather than Hairpath. Still ancient high road, and it says on long das Ridgeways on Yearning Berg north of Weirder. And what that means is along the Ridgeway to the northern side of Yearning Berg, or Yearning, or possibly yonder barrow. Now it uses the word berg, which is it's not a fly in the ointment, because the Anglo-Saxons didn't pay any attention to whether something was really a hill or a barrow or a bury. So they're interchangeable over and over again, hundreds of occasions. They call something a borough when it should be a berg. And I think we've got it here. There's a place called, which is where I'm going to now, called Yarnbury, above Wylye on the A303, and Yarnan and Yarn. Yarnan and Yarn, and nobody spotted, as far as I can see, the similarity between the two sounds. The English Place Name Society says it might mean Arnebury, which means eagles fortification. I think it means either yonder, the far fortification, or the Yearning fortification. It's that addition of the R could explain yarn could be yearn, and so is Earn. That might be what we're looking at. So why aren't I sure the meaning of the name of the hill fort? It's because there's an R in Yarn, the modern name for it, Yarnbury, and there isn't in Yearning Berg. Now the reason that matters, as Southern English folk, we don't pronounce our R's very well. We're non-rhotic. So a Scotsman saying yarn would say yarn. He would pronounce the R, and so would the Old English. So it matters, it means something. But the good news is I'm leaning towards Yearning, because the modern form is closer to that than it is yonder, the far fortification, because there is a version. If its meaning is to yearn, to be earnest, to really want something, if that is its meaning, then there is a version of yearning in Old English that doesn't have an R.
So why am I sure that this charter refers to Yarnbury and not some other landmark somewhere else? Well, it's called Wylye, at Wylye, and the village of Wylye is the boundary of the village of Wylye is 1,000 yards to the west. But bear in mind, there's another charter of Wylye, which refers to Stockton, which is the next village over from Wylye. So it's very possible that this charter is also next door to Wylye. It's on I believe on the Steepleton Langford charter. And bear in mind that the Sawyer catalogue editors think that this includes the estate of Barthampton, which is on the western side of Langford. I think this charter is of the estate of Barthampton. Bear in mind the closeness of the sounds. I don't think it's a problem that it is Berg rather than Birja. The early medieval people and later people got these confused all the time. It seems interchangeable. The description describes Yarnbury really, really well. It talks of coming up from the Wylye, across the downs, up to the Ridgeway, to the north part of Yarnbury, and then out the Horse Gate, the Horrors Yet. And that's a nice new thing that we've learnt from this charter about Yarnbury that we didn't know before, if I'm the first to work this out. That there is two pieces of information here. One, it is the Yearning or yonder fortification, and secondly, that it has a gate called the Horse Gate, which I think is a nice little feature. Thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you've enjoyed it, please watch this one next. Please subscribe. Oh, and leave a comment. I enjoy comments. I will answer them. If they're particularly interesting, I'll answer them very quickly. I am interested in other places to go visit, so please mention them. Thanks a lot. Ta-da.